Artificial intelligence. It is seemingly everywhere these days in a wide range of products and services. Welcome to another Techstination Interview. Joining us is Seth Dobrin, Chief Artificial Intelligence Officer at IBM. Thank you for joining us, Seth.
Thanks for having me, Fred. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you and your listeners.
Well, some people may be a little confused, I think, about the phrase artificial intelligence. Let's start out with a little bit of a definition, if we can. What does it mean?
So artificial intelligence is leveraging math and data about us as humans and about businesses to help companies make better decisions and help their interactions with us as consumers be better and more productive.
And this is becoming really widespread in the business community and other applications as well. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so when you look at the impact of AI, it's already changing the way businesses operate today. Everything from how they communicate with their customers and employees via virtual assistants, and by virtual assistants, think AI-powered chatbot, to automating key workflows and even managing things like network security. And a large amount of those investments continue to be focused on three capabilities that we define as AI for business. First, using AI to automate IT and processes. Second, building trust in these outcomes. And third, understanding the language of business and industries.
Do you think sometimes the phrase is being overused? AI, artificial intelligence? I review products and I see an awful lot of products arriving that claim that they have AI and are using AI, or is that accurate?
So I think there is a bit of overuse of the word AI, or maybe misuse of the word AI. Let me kind of put in what I see as proper definition of AI with some examples. Right. So have you ever gotten a text from your bank while making a purchase when you use your credit or debit card? In those instances, most large banks have AI doing real-time fraud detections. Many companies use AI during various stages of a hiring process, so most often in screening resumes. And loan decisions are informed by AI to help the underwriters assess our credit worthiness. So those are some kind of generic examples. And if we look at the pandemic, there were a couple of opportunities for companies and governments and healthcare institutions who are facing major spikes in inquiries from us as individuals about various things regarding the pandemic in current terms of shutdowns, access to vaccines, et cetera. A great example of this is CVS, that was facing a huge spike in call volume once they started rolling out the vaccine. With people wanting to know availability of the vaccine in all 50 states close by them. We helped CVS use Watson Assistant to roll out a new customer care system in just a few weeks. And thanks to the AI and automation in the virtual assistant, the voice agent was able to handle millions of calls, a majority without requiring even human assistance. And where they did require human assistance, the length of the call was cut down dramatically.
Did AI play a role at all in the development of the vaccinations too?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the development, the rapid development, it was actually incredibly rapid of the vaccines. They were all developed using a combination of cutting edge biotechnology and cutting edge AI.
Very interesting. What are some of the other real benefits of AI that maybe people aren't aware of?
Some benefits of AI are they help us help make our lives better. Some examples of that are companies like HSBC that's using Watson to help us make better investment decisions. It helps companies to automate mundane tasks to not only save money, but to help us as individual employees of these companies do more value added work. Companies are doing everything from leveraging AI to, as I mentioned earlier, to help them with loan decisions. Everything from, within IBM, we use AI to help with our hiring processes, to help us predict our sales opportunities. Then as individuals, there's opportunity for AI to help enhance our shopping experience, where we choose to share information with these e-commerce houses. Social media and things use a lot of AI as well, as does the internet. When you search on the internet, AI helps surface the proper information for us more quickly.
Are we keeping up with demand when it comes to the education needed to provide the people to develop these artificial intelligence systems?
Yeah, so education of people that develop these AI or these artificial intelligence algorithms, the demand for this talent segment is very high, and there is probably a bit of an undersupply of talent. I think the more important question about skills and talent in this space affects us as individuals, and that is getting a diverse group of people building these algorithms or these mathematical formulas that end up being the AI we think of. And this is important when we start thinking about how do we implement AI that's trustworthy. And this is a really big, important piece for our perspective on trust. And also, if you look at a survey we just did, 43% of IT companies say that they're accelerating the rollout of the pandemic. And more than 80% of them believe that they need to deliver trustworthy AI to do this. And so having diverse teams that understand what it means to deliver trustworthy AI, meaning it's transparent, it's explainable, it's fair, it's robust, and it ensures our privacy, is key. And this is absolutely core to our strategy as a company.
Every now and then there have been stories that seem to indicate that some well-known, learned people have fears and cautions about AI and the future. What are your thoughts about that? And should there be concern?
Well, so I think the concerns that we should have really are less about what's sensationalized in the press, and there's right ways and there's wrong ways to implement AI, and IBM's taken some very strong stances on this very publicly, and having trustworthy AI, again, adhering to those principles of transparency, explainability, fairness, robustness, and privacy ensuring are critical to ensuring to guaranteeing or increasing the likelihood that AI is going to be more trustworthy. And I think that's a more important question for us to contemplate now than these sensationalized stories you hear about AI in the press.
The future. Tell us what your thoughts are about where this is leading, how it's going to change society in the years and decades to come.
Yeah, well, when we talk about AI, we usually use the word artificial intelligence. I think a more appropriate way to think about it is augmented intelligence. AI can help us make better, more informed decisions faster. A great example of that is, if you show up someday in the future, you'll show up to your doctor, and to some extent this is true today. And God forbid, I have some disease that I need, critical medical attention. Physicians are inundated with, hundreds of new publications related to various, diseases every day. There's no way that as a physician, my physician could keep up with all of these research articles and that she could also practice medicine. So AI, or augmented intelligence in this case, helps her to surface the things that are important to me and to her in order for her and I to have a conversation about the best way to use the recommendations that the AI came with about my particular case. So AI is helping her and helping I make better decisions about my health, my treatment, how I'm going to move forward, but it's not actually making the decision for her or for me.
You haven't mentioned yet the autonomous vehicle field, and AI, I think, is playing a key role there too, right?
Yeah, so we don't play. IBM as a company doesn't play in autonomous vehicles. When we talk about things like visual recognition, we're really surfacing this in our manufacturing suite of tools. So our Maximo what we call IBM Maximo, which is a manufacturing supply, kind of management system. And we've surfaced some new Watson capabilities on a cell phone to help people that are on the factory floors understand the equipment they're using and repair things more proactively. And when there is a repair that they don't know how to address, the Maximo on their iPhone or Android phone will surface the right information to help them get the right parts and get that piece of equipment up faster.
Terrific. Where can people go for more information?
Yeah, so for more information, they can go to ibm.com/Watson, and they can learn more about all of these areas. So how you can use AI to automate processes, IT process and IT applications, how AI can be delivered in a more trustworthy manner, and how AI can help understand the language of businesses and industries.
And I guess it's pretty clear that AI is playing a role in our everyday lives today.
Yeah, it absolutely is clear. I mean, I walked through some of those examples. There's other types of examples. So for instance, in IBM, we use AI to help our employees get information about our HR questions, so they don't have to wait for an HR representative to get back to them. And we have over 300,000 employees. There's no way we could have enough HR partners to answer everyone's questions. We use AI to help us manage our expenses as a company, perform better for our shareholders. And we use AI to help us predict how we're going to perform every quarter so that we as a business can make better decisions in more real time about how we can improve the performance of our company.
Wonderful. Seth Dobrin, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Yep. Thanks for having me, Fred. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, and I hope you and yours remain well.
Same here. Thank you.